Hello, we've literally just landed in Switzerland and we've come straight to Baselworld 2018. We've come straight to the Rolex stand, and I know that I've been so excited to see this year's product, Bill, as you have. We wait all year for this. Did it live up to expectations?
It really did, Faye. Day one, meeting one, and already we saw the hero product that Rolex will be rolling out this year. And again, it's no surprise that they're supporting their professional collection, but it is a surprise now to see the GMT-Master II in steel. And let's not forget the name that goes before Rolex and has done ever since they invented the waterproof case, the Oyster. And this year they bring the Oyster 36mm, which we've seen before, but now has a new movement fitted to it. It comes in any number of variety of dial variations, but it's such an important watch for Rolex. And as watch sizes amongst men seem to be shrinking, this is a watch that's going to become more and more important.
You're absolutely right, Bill. The 36mm is so incredibly important to Rolex, and what they've also, this year also for them, they've revisited the 31mm, which is incredible on the precious metal for ladies. And let's not forget, my absolute favourite this year is the Rainbow Daytona in Ever Rose Gold. Every year we see a new professional model. You've referenced the GMT2 on the Pepsi bezel. What other changes have they introduced this year? Because it was quite interesting in terms of the metal type that we got to see.
It was, wasn't it? They've actually renamed it. It's steel, but it's now Oyster steel. It was previously known as 904L, which is one of the hardest substances on Earth. That's not the only detail. That I think what's incredible is the Cerachrome bezel, which they introduced a few years ago. They really struggled, they told us, to create the classic two-tone bezel designs that these watches are renowned for. They perfected it, they launched it on a white gold model, and it's now available on the steel. It has a black dial as opposed to the blue dial that we saw on the white gold model. And it again gives us 70 hours power reserve. I mean, I think they have 10 patents now running on this particular movement, so there's a lot going on. I think there's definitely an audience for this watch. I think it looks really stunning. It talks to a more stylish and more sort of dressy approach to wearing a professional watch. It doesn't take its origins as a tool watch away from the GMT-Master II. It just adds another level of, I suppose, sophistication is the word you'd use if you were getting dressed wearing this watch.
So you referenced the 36mm Datejust, reprofile case, new movement. Tell us a bit more about this.
Well, it's extraordinary. This watch has existed since 1945, and it's safe to assume that when it launched it was probably around about the same size. So this is a watch that really fundamentally, to outward appearance's sake, hasn't changed dramatically. And yet with everything at Rolex, everything changes just that little bit. So we have a reprofile case, as you say, which is, I don't want to denigrate it by saying it's a repolishing, but what they've done is they've changed their approach to polishing the case. It brings it vividly to life. So we have a very useful, very flexible watch. Obviously Oyster, waterproof, perpetual, automatic. It just talks to everything that Rolex represents in the market.
The 31mm has been revisited with a reprofile case, as the same as we've discussed with the 36mm, and some incredible dials this year from Rolex. The butterfly dial that they've launched, I believe there's 20 butterflies, all in mother of pearl on the pave dial, but the entire collection starts at just over £18,000. So there is a subtlety to it as well. It is a dress watch because it's precious metal, and it comes on the iconic President bracelet, which I've always loved. But this year, the introduction, again with the caliber that they moved over from the Pearl Master, which again gives it approximately 70-hour power reserve. It's just a beautiful collection and a real luxury element and for the ladies' offer.
But I don't think that was your favourite watch, was it?
No, Bill, it
I think that began with a D.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I was incredibly taken with the Daytona. The Cosmograph Rolex is another icon. We could talk about icons quite a lot, but it's a standout model. It's an incredible watch. It's incredibly fun. It's incredibly beautiful. It's going to be incredibly difficult to get hold of, but it was wonderful.
Yes, I suppose we need to manage expectations slightly, because I understand Rolex can only really produce these pieces when they get access to the gems required to make them.
Rolex won't do anything unless they're absolutely comfortable with the stones and the visual offer and sort of the quality. So getting those sapphires to match, and bear in mind it's not just one colour, it's a rainbow. It's called the Rainbow Daytona for a reason, and this is just another example of their excellence. And I love how they have fun with it.
And those subdials, they're amazing. I think they called them gold crystal subdials, which they told us was developed by a process that only they can really achieve internally, because they smelt their own gold at Rolex.
That's right.
And this talks to, again, it talks to what Rolex do that many other manufacturers, for no bad reasons whatsoever, but don't take on as their own job. And they do, and they make their own gold. So it allows them to come up with this frosted gold finish on the sub-dials, which again, I don't think we can talk about piece unique too much because it might put people off. Another reason why these watches are so desirable.
Why do you think the brand has such enduring appeal?
Well, I think the clue is in that word enduring, isn't it? It's the endurance of the watches, it's the product. It comes down to the product every time, and Rolex have always built and continue to build and only want to build watches that are extraordinarily reliable, innovative in their market, innovative for the times in which they're being sold, but again, practical. I mean, you don't buy a Rolex to keep it in your drawer, you buy a Rolex to wear it. Now, whether you want that watch to be decorated or whether it needs to go to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, which is 7 miles deep, when you pick up a Rolex, you can just feel how well engineered it is. You just understand that this thing has been made with not just care and love and all the other attributes and qualities that every watch brand here at Baselworld will bring to watchmaking, but with skills that have been honed over decades and with an investment into technology and a vertical integration of the work itself. I mentioned earlier they smelt their own gold, they make their own oil. I mean, every single part of that watch has been controlled from the beginning by Rolex itself.
That's very true, Bill, and this collection is only going to add to the appeal for the brand. Sadly, that's all we've got time for. Bill, thank you very much for joining us. We've both got appointments now. We've got the toughest job in the world. We've got to go and look at some more watches. Thank you.